Me hanging on to my last threads of my career, like. School's coming around. Who would have thought in a literal pandemic people are going back to school? Every single time it turns September, I still feel like I'm going back to school. It's so weird. I honestly think when I'm 30 years old, I will still see September as like the beginning of like a school year, you get me? Basically, yeah, people are going back to school, and it was highly requested for me to do a boarding school Q&A. Y'all are going to a whole different dimension, I swear. Honestly, the whole entire time I was there, blur. A complete and utter blur. First things first, let me tell you a bit about myself. Let's just talk about like the basics of like my boarding school, stuff like that. So it was a mixed boarding school. It was called Hartwood House. It was based on creativity. So it was like drama, art, music, photography, and media. Like it was very like based around creativity. That's basically the whole reason why I went there, but it's mostly for drama basically, because like they do like a lot of like shows and like theatre and stuff like that. And my roommate Lucy, as you guys all know, queen, she was very into that and she was my roommate. But I'll get on to talk about roommates later, because honestly it could be a shit storm if you have a bad roommate. My subjects were psychology, photography, and media. Also, my boarding school was only sixth form. She was only there for like 2 years, literally from 16 to 18, done. Let's just get straight on to the questions, honestly. You guys have some interesting ones, and I just can't wait to expose myself. What's the best way to make friends? Okay, honestly, if I'm gonna tell you anything, just put yourself out there. Be the most confident person in the room. I was literally the most timid person ever. I literally would not speak to anyone. Like in my old school, I was literally so like quiet and like low-key like a big loser. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, but I literally just had to get out my comfort zone, and I was like, you know, fuck it, we have to get out here now. Literally the whole entire reason why I moved schools, because I wanted to branch out and like meet new friends, stuff like that. So basically all I'd say is just branch out. Be the most confident self you've ever been in your whole entire life, and just put yourself out there. Everyone will remember you to be the most confident, and confidence is so attractive, literally so attractive. Not obviously always in a sexual way, you get me, but it's like it's so attractive for like friends as well. Like literally Lucy was so confident towards me, and I was like, wow, that's so empowering, you know. It like made me feel like so much better, because if we were both timid, it'd be so awkward and just make us both even more shy. And make sure to remember that some of the friends you make at the beginning of the year won't be your friends at the end of the year. Like I know it's like bad to say, but like there are temporary friendships. You are all like merging and like gelling together like the whole entire time. Like you'll find people who you like more than the first person you ever met. Don't worry if friendships change, because they will, like literally naturally. You might even not even realize it, but they will change. Were there any annoying things which your roommate did late at night? Well, do I have a story to tell you guys? Me and Lucy used to be lying in bed at night. Basically Lucy had this thing where she wanted to learn a language, so she literally kept me up late at night learning Danish on this app, literally until like 3 AM at some point.
Oh my god! Learn Danish at 11 at night one more time, bitch.
So that's why today's video is sponsored by Bazoo. It's basically an artificial intelligence learning platform where you can learn like languages. It basically allows you to interact with native speakers around the world. You can legit learn up to 12 languages on this app. 12 languages. Like Jesus, I only know English. Ask me any French GCSE, I won't know it. For example, like Spanish, French, Portuguese, Chinese, and there are literally over 100 million learners in the Bazoo community. Also, it's free to sign up. You can obviously get a premium membership. That just gives you access to like all the premium features. Basically, you can connect with native speakers, so you can like get feedback on your writing and speaking skills. Normally in school and stuff, you like get taught like the formal way of like how to learn a language, but like when you actually have a native speaker to speak to you and literally teach you, it's like streetwise. You literally will be a local. Also, you can have an individual study plan. If you don't have a plan about what you actually want to learn in the language, it's just gonna flop. It's just not gonna work at all. It keeps you to stick to one goal, and you can literally set yourself reminders to study every single day. So yeah, they won't catch you slipping. They will be on your ass to make you learn that language. Achevez-vous de télécharger l'application maintenant. Click the link in my description to sign up to Bazoo and use my code Kate30 to get 30% off Bazoo Premium. So yeah, thank you so much Bazoo for sponsoring this video. I love you guys so much, and love you Lucy for trying to learn Danish at 3 AM. What happens if you get a really shit roommate? I actually had the situation with two of my friends. They're with their original roommates and they just did not get along with them like at all. Were not the vibe. Coincidentally, the two girls who I was friends with, they really liked each other, and their two roommates really liked each other, so they literally mutually agreed just to swap, and they literally just swapped rooms and it was perfect. You could do like that type of situation, maybe try and find like a two which like don't get along as well, and just like swap with them. Bring up your housemaster or housemistress, and they can literally just sort out for you, because you have to be selfish in that situation, because it is gonna be your room. Like this is your space. Honestly, I was so lucky to have Lucy. If I had anyone else, I would have literally dropped out. I would have literally gone back to my old school. I was this close to going back to my old school within the first 2 weeks of being in boys' school, because I was like, it is too out of my comfort zone. I couldn't do it. Then turns out I freaking loved it and literally made a YouTube career out of it. So yeah, big up. Is it annoying having a lack of freedom? It doesn't seem like a lack of freedom, do you get me? If you went from like a free teen in London, left school at 3 PM, went to school at 9 AM, yeah, I think obviously you feel a bit more restricted than a literal boarding school where you literally stay in the whole entire week. It becomes like normal to be like in that environment, and like you don't feel trapped. Like you literally don't. With most boarding schools, you can like go like away on the weekends, like go out to town on the weekends. Like for example, my school, they organize like a bus every Saturday to go out to town. You have to get your own transport back from town to the school, but obviously it was curfew, so like curfew for us was 10 p.m. Was it ever annoying with Lucy? No, it literally was not annoying at one point. Actually, I lied. I definitely lied. Okay, so within the first like 2 weeks or like week of like us literally boarding together, so I didn't even know the girl. I literally slept with this girl from the first night I literally met her, like in the same room. Like, you joking? Basically, this girl, she caked up every single day for school, and I'm like the type of girl to be like very like natural. I didn't really care about makeup that much. She's put on concealer on my spots. This girl, she was baking it on. She literally had the contour, she had the highlight, the blush every single day. She'd make us late for like the bus, but obviously I wouldn't leave her because she's my roommate. Do you think I was just gonna ditch my roommate? I would not do that. So I literally was there like waiting for her, like, so are you ready yet? I was such a teacher's pet, obviously. I was so obsessed with being on time, and the buses go from house to school, and like when there's a last bus and you don't get on that bus, you have to make your own way to school. But literally, or literally you get in so much trouble for staying in. That was the really annoying thing, but honestly for the rest of the whole 2 years, she was an absolute gem. Like literally, I couldn't fault her. People probably think like, do you guys not get annoyed with each other? Like, did you not want your own personal space? But like literally me and her, we were so in sync, like so wired to each other, like telepathically. I would not even realize she was in the room, but we literally would have our own time, like when we were together, like not even realize we were together in the room. Do you get me? It was weird. Is it better being in a room by yourself or sharing? Share. Please share. Oh my god. If I was in a room by myself for first year, I would have no friends. No friends at all. I swear to god. Sharing with a person, you can speak to them. You know, it's like not lonely. And I used to think that I was such like an introvert, and I was like, I need like time for myself. But honestly, sharing a room is the best thing ever. And plus you make such good friends with the person. But literally like last year of A-levels, me and Lucy basically requested single rooms for each other, and basically there weren't enough single rooms for us. So we were like, okay, that's fair. We'll share again. And we were like a bit annoyed about it like at first, but then as soon as we started sharing an A2 again, we were like, this is perfect. Thank god we didn't get a single room, because if we got a single room, I think I would have actually got myself in like to a little hole. Like I would have been like so upset the whole time. Me and Lucy were getting so close by the end of A1. We were literally like tight, so close. Can you imagine like us going into A2 and like basically not even be able to see each other? We wouldn't have been able to like say goodnight to each other. Like how sad is that? Snacks you need to bring. Right, so if you're a savory person, bring sweet stuff as well. And if you're a sweet person, bring savory stuff as well. Trust me. Your snack drawer cannot just be chocolate. It ain't just gonna be chocolate. It's gonna be like really weird things that you don't even realize you want. Like for example, rice cakes. Rice cakes you can have chocolate spread on or Marmite. That's sweet and savory. Fruit, like dried fruit. Oh my god, dried fruit was my savior in boarding school. I don't even know why. Like I just love dried fruit, and also it literally would like last freaking months. Obviously treat yourself, but like don't overdo it, because honestly you won't eat it, and also people will know that you have a really good tuck box. Yeah, that's another thing. Do not let anyone know you have a good tuck box, because if they find that out, they will come into your room, they will open it, and they will take stuff out of it. From my own experience, that has happened, and yeah, it is a bit shit, but you can't exactly just tell your friends like fuck off. It's a bit personal, isn't it? Chocolate biscuits, like digestive biscuits, are the best things ever, so remember to bring biscuits. Misconception about boarding school. A misconception about boarding school is being sent there. Everyone thinks that I got sent to boarding school. Like I literally chose to go there. Everyone has that misconception of boarding school where it's like you've been a bad person, so you have to go like basically be sent away, and that's like wild child type vibes, but honestly it wasn't like that. I literally wanted to go so bad. Another misconception is that it's super strict. It honestly isn't. If you play the rules how they should be played, then yeah, it's good. Like if you are one of those little who like goes out and like smokes cigs at night in the woods and stuff like that and gets caught, then obviously they're going to be strict about it, because first of all, underage, second of all, curfew and shit like that. I understand like why the teachers were so annoying, because it's just like they're basically trying to keep their eggs all in one basket, like keep everyone in the boarding house. Like if kids were like sneaking off at night, like to go into like smoke a cigarette, they could fall down a ditch and die. Like can you imagine having that on your back the whole entire time? So honestly, being a housemaster or house mistress must be the most stressful shit ever. I just cannot do it. Can you not go into boys' rooms at all? No, obviously not. If you're a girl, you can't go into boys' rooms. It's obviously just because the teacher's gonna think you can have sex, aren't they? I'm not saying you can't do it without them knowing, but I mean, it's like I did it. You have to do it at one point in your life. My boarding house was like girls floor, boys floor, so literally we were on top of each other. That sounds so wrong. Basically there was just a little fire exit, so you could go down and just go into a boys window. Obviously I'm not trying to give you guys tips or anything. Yeah, anyway, biggest regret about boarding school. My biggest regret was not living my life to the fullest. Like I literally was such a teacher's pet that I would hate like breaking rules and stuff like that, but honestly, literally fuck it. Like I think more like now I have that fucking mentality where I'm just like, you know, life's too freaking short, you know. Back then I was like too uptight of like being like, oh my god, I shouldn't go out here, I can't go out there, stuff like that. I was literally such a little neek. I just would say just live life to the fullest, but just don't do anything too dangerous. That's what I'm saying. Take my advice, but don't take my advice, you know. Worst trouble you got into, I think everyone knows by now, I got suspended. I was either like goody two shoes or went like over the line, you know. I literally got no detention, started my whole entire school career, but then got suspended at the end of it. So yeah, that was because I went drinking on a Saturday night and I came back to school wasted and I was throwing up in the Uber and I got snitched on. So that's why I was suspended. I was suspended for 2 days and mama was not happy. And that was the worst worst trouble I ever got in, I think. How much did you pay for your fees? Well, it's like awkward to say, isn't it? I don't know, like, well, I mean, it is on the internet as well anyway, so I think I may as well just say, oh my god, here goes nothing. Honestly, I have never like said this out loud. Okay, so it is it is £14,800 a term for my boarding school I went to. Yeah, I literally already told you at the beginning of the video like what school I went to, so like you guys are obviously gonna search up how much it was anyway, so I might as well tell you now. So yeah, there is the fee. It was a very, very, very expensive private school, but honestly worth every single penny. The things I learned in that school has set me up for life. Literally set me up for life. What to do about alone time? Go to the library, go to the gym, go for a run. Oh my god, I used to thrive off runs when I used to be in school. I literally used to go for a run at least every single day. I think in A2, because when it was like stressful for like exams and stuff like that, I used to go for a run every single day after school. Put on a podcast, put on some music, and literally just like zen out, and that's honestly how I got my alone time. Or I literally just take long ass showers, to be honest. Are you allowed takeaways? Yeah, I think you were. On school nights, you were-ish allowed to, I'm not really too sure. You had to order between a certain time. I think it was like between 6:30 and 7. You can only order like a pizza or a Chinese between those 2 times in that evening. And if you ordered it past that, they literally would get it confiscated and you still have to pay for it, which is an L. So I would literally not risk that shit. So I basically just got it at the weekends, and it was paying. Are most people ungrateful for being at boarding school? I wouldn't say most people are, but like there are some people you can tell are like properly stuck up. Like, bro, you've been given this opportunity, like take it and like use it to your best advantage. I guess they're in life, so like let them ruin it, I guess. Was it as good as you made it seem? It's like a yes and no. I obviously only filmed the best parts of the actual experience, because why would I film the shitty parts? I want to look back on this video for like the good memories or the bad memories. So yeah, there were some really bad bits. Like for example, it can get really toxic because obviously it's all like people in one like place, and like it just gets a bit like too much sometimes. That's why I always left at the weekend, because I was just, I need like breathing space. All things that I showed in the videos, they were literally like so natural, if you get me. They were never put on. Literally everything was just so raw about all those videos, you get me? I would do anything to go back to it, honestly. I would redo my A-levels for that shit, I swear. So yeah, and that was like boarding school Q&A, everyone. I hope I answered every single question you hopefully wanted to answer. If you want me to do a part 3, then maybe I'll do it, and like let me know if you want me to do it. I know it's like literally me like being here like, oh my god, I'm like milking my private school brand, oh my god, I love it, I love it. I'm low-key trying to move on from that, because you know, I am not just a private school bitch, you know, even though literally my Instagram is CEO of boarding school, but we don't talk about that. Me hanging on to my last threads of my career. Like, love you guys lots, kisses, and I'll see you next week. Bye.